about to get on. We're going to have about like 10, 15 minutes or so. All right. Eric, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. All right. We'll fire away with questions, and we'll start with Jordan at WATE, followed by Trey Wallace.
Hey, Eric, last year when you came in as a freshman, I know there were quite a few changes that you had to adapt to and get used to. This year with the COVID-19 protocols and kind of the changing of the everyday, does it at all feel like an extension of your freshman year, kind of learning to adapt yet again?
Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure. These are new circumstances that we are facing, and just trying to stay positive, bonding together with my teammates. And just like last year, the upperclassmen were helping me get through it. It's the same thing this year with like Ty and the coaches helping me get through it this year. Everybody's really bonding together just to get over COVID and just keep our mind chugging ahead to the season.
Bill, you ready for me?
Yeah, fire away.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. No, I'm sorry. Eric, this is Trey. When you look at the running back room that you have this year surrounding you and your teammates in the offensive line, what are some things that you guys did over the summer in these, quote, OTA voluntary type workouts that you're able to build upon for fall camp, especially with a deep offensive line that you had that could open some holes?
We wanted to make sure we learned everything and we were perfect. Coach Graham harps on being perfect with check downs, with running the ball. Those freshmen came in and they're very talented. They're coming in and they're pushing us every day, pushing me and Ty every day, and just me and Ty getting together and teaching them what we know, and Ty teaching me what he knows because he has a little bit more experience, and just going at it every day, getting with the offensive linemen and going over run schemes, going over pass schemes. So we're perfect. They're going to be perfect with that deep offensive line, so we can just be perfect and do everything right.
We'll go to Brent Hubbs, followed by David Pascal.
Eric, what's this week been like with Coach Graham? You only got one day on the practice field with him in the spring before everything was shut down. So has there been an adjustment there? And what's it like on the practice field with him? And then secondly, what is your focal point for your game? What are you focused on the most and have been focused on the most?
So with the first question, Coach Graham is a unbelievably great guy. You can see the experience that he has coaching running backs. He's taught me so much in just a short time that he's been here, just being able to read a front, read a defense, safety rotation, different things like that I never really thought about, drawing on the boards. He's really great with details. He really harps on the details, making sure you're aligned correctly, you hit the hole correctly, you press the backers correctly, different things like that, which is going to help you go to the next level. I think he's very great at. On the field, he's a great guy when, like, you're not sure or you mess up on something, he can correct you right away and you can go back and do it again the right way. So he's great with that. And what was your second question? On my focal point for the season. My focal point for my game really is to really just take it to the next level. My freshman year was a pretty good year, but I really want to take it to another level for my sophomore year, just being able to one cut and being able to break away from defenders, being that really game changer this year.
David?
Eric, you think about baseball players wanting to hit 300. Running backs love those 1,000-yard seasons. Given that there are 2 fewer games this year and you're playing nothing but SEC defenses, how challenging would it be for one of you guys to get that 1,000-yard season, and how rewarding would it be?
I think it's going to be a great – we have to take care of our bodies for sure for that to happen, and it's going to be a great thing to do. If you can go out there and do it 10 SEC straight games, and you can go out there and put 1,000 yards up, who knows, you can put 2,000 yards up. If you can go out there and prove that you're that back playing 10 SEC games, no one has ever done that, and you'll be the first to do it, that'll be something special.
And as a quick follow, when you think about Neyland, you're used to 100,000 fans. Obviously, Philip Fulmer this past week said 25,000 would be likely. How weird of a scene do you think that will be for you guys, just kind of looking up and seeing 1/4 the crowd?
That's definitely going to be different, but I think 25,000 is better than 0 for sure. When you're in that stadium and no one is there, it's going to be better when 25,000 people are screaming. Because if you think about it, 25,000 is still a lot of people. And when you're in that stadium and you're focused on that game, I don't even hear the fans when I'm in the game. I'm just so focused and ready to go.
Thank you.
We'll go to Blake, followed by Vince.
Hey, Eric, what's your impression been of T. Hodge, and is there anything that sort of stands out about what he's able to bring to that position?
He has come in and been unbelievably professional. He takes the game very seriously. He watches a lot of film. He studies me and Ty. He studies in the meeting rooms. He really wants to do well, and I think he's really going to do well. He's done a lot in a short span of getting here in the summer, and he's been doing great out there on the field 2 days. Watching him, he's adapting well.
Eric, to follow up on T. Hodge and some of those freshmen, there's this narrative that because of the offseason, that freshmen might have a harder time playing this year because you didn't have as many practices and off-season work. But you guys have done so much with the OTAs, the Zoom videos, the teaching, things like that. Do you think that that's not a true narrative, that those guys are on par with normal as freshmen or even beyond?
I think that's not true at all with that narrative because, like I said, him and Jabari and everyone else that has came in, they have done a great job with learning. And when they came in, they were behind, but now they're up to speed. They're up to speed and they're doing everything just as me and Ty would. They're learning every day. They're getting better, learning from Coach Graham. Coach Graham has done an unbelievable job catching them up to speed, and they've really adapted well as well.
All right, we'll go to Lewis, followed by Austin Price.
Uh, Eric, with the way that last season ended for you and for the team in general, kind of riding high, having so many great games there to end things in a row, how do you stop yourself from kind of sipping the Kool-Aid? How do you put yourself in a position where you don't listen to all the accolades that you get at the end of the season and continue that to like you said, take it to a new level this year?
Well, for me, it all kind of started in high school when, like, my 10th grade year, I got a lot of accolades, but now everyone was saying you're young, you're a 10th grader, but now you got to go do it again as 11th grader. And that really if you wanted to be a great player, you have to be consistent. And that's what I look at. Last season was a good season for me, but I don't think it was it wasn't my best season. So my best season is yet to come, and just working hard for that, wanting to be one of the greatest players to ever play the game, wanting to be that, you got to be consistent all the time. You got to be consistent. You got to be perfect all the time. So last year was last year, but you got to do it again.
And if I may follow up, how do you get more consistent? What do you need to do this year to bring about that level you want?
And that's what in meeting rooms. If you saw my notebook in meeting rooms, I write, "Be perfect today, focus." And that's really the thing. Writing your goals down before you got to go do it, and just going out there and doing. You got to take each day by day and work as hard as you possibly can. And when you start to bond those days together, that's where you get consistency.
Austin?
Thank you.
Eric, Brent asked you about Jay. Not to knock Coach Johnson, but you mentioned that that Coach Graham has coached running backs for a long time. Coach Johnson was just only in his first year coaching running backs last year. Where can you tell that difference? And then two, how has that helped you from a mentality standpoint? How are you different now on and off the field than maybe you were a year ago?
Both of them are great coaches. Coach Graham and Coach Johnson really taught me a lot. Coach Johnson taught me a lot as being a freshman and teaching me how to be a college back. And Coach Graham has just improved on that. He has just taken what I already learned and just taken it to another level and just kept it going. I think I've learned a lot from both of them. Going into this season, I feel more prepared than ever. Coach Graham has done a lot with me and Ty, just making sure, me, Ty, and all the other running backs, just making sure that we are prepared when our numbers call. Whatever they need us to do this season, that we're going to be ready to go no matter who we're playing.
All right, we'll go to Gustavo, followed by David Oven.
Eric, I know SEC is going to be all SEC schedule, and Tennessee's going to face a lot of tough teams in Neyland. Florida, Texas A&M, Alabama. Are you looking forward to any specific game, or all the games going to be the same?
I think all the games are going to be the same for me. I'm really excited about playing this schedule. That's ultimately why I picked the SEC. That's ultimately why I sat down with my family and said I wanted to go to the SEC. Coming from a private school, they say, well, he's doing this, but he doesn't play anyone. So that's why I ultimately chose the SEC, and this is the cream of the crop here, playing 10 SEC games. If you can go out there and prove yourself in 10 SEC games, you can – there's pretty much nothing else they can say.
David?
Eric, a lot of the other conferences have already pushed to the spring, and the idea there is that they'd play 2 seasons in 1 year. As the player and as you guys, talking about these things, how would you feel like you and your teammates would feel about the concept of playing 2 seasons in 1 calendar year as a backup plan if you're not able to play this season?
I believe that playing that 1 season is the best. Playing that 10 games, just pushing it back, I feel like is left up to the medical experts. They know the most about what's going on and what's safe for us. That's all Coach Pruitt has harped on, that Coach Pruitt, Geronimo, Coach Dr. Klink, everyone has harped on. They're not going to just put us out there if it's not safe. So just trusting in them and knowing that they're going to do the right thing no matter what, that's just where my head is now.
We'll go to Patrick and then Vince.
Eric, you've talked a little bit about some of the new guys, but Ty Chandler is going into his senior year. Have you seen any change in his approach? Is there a different hunger for him knowing this is his last season, or is he kind of going about things the way he kind of normally always does?
Well, it's different when it's your last year. You want to go out with a bang. So he's definitely been working harder, just trying to improve his game, just trying to show the next level that he's prepared for, just doing different things to make sure that his game is all around complete. So when this 10 games is over, those scouts can watch that film and say, hey, this is a guy we need on our team. And that's really how he's taking the approach to it. He's really trying to be more professional about his game and just making sure everything is complete. So when that day comes, he's ready to go.
Eric, a lot of the coaches, I'm sure, are talking to you every day about making those right decisions to make sure you guys stay safe and have a season. How much player peer accountability is there in your team to make sure guys are doing the right thing, watchdog, and not making those bad decisions that can put all this in jeopardy?
We definitely have to do that. You mean the coaches can say it all they want, but they're not there when we leave the facility. And you have some guys that live with each other, some guys that stay with each other, go over there all the time. And that's what we have to do. We ultimately have to be – this is the season where we have to have the most leaders that we've ever had, or everything's going to go to waste. All our hard work is going to go to waste if we don't. Everyone has to watch over their brother, have to have a little neighborhood watch on the team for everyone to just make sure that everyone's doing the right thing, wearing their masks when they're out, not going out to parties, not putting themselves in jeopardy for each other, because you got to ultimately look out for your teammates. You don't want to go out and jeopardize yourself and jeopardize the rest of your teammates.
All right, last question. We'll go to Trey Wallace.
Eric, we kind of touched on a second ago when it came to capacity, at Neyland Stadium, but it's going to be very different for you guys when you go on the road, and potentially you guys maybe don't have to go to a silent count, or you can switch things up when it comes to being able to actually understand what plays are being called and not have to worry about noise. How big of a factor is that for you? Maybe you haven't experienced something like that since high school, but it's going to be very different going into a 100,000-seat stadiums and not really having to worry about crowd noise.
That's definitely going to be better for us going on the road. So when you, like you said, when you're listening for plays and JG's back there or trying to call plays, you can actually hear now. You're not listening like what's going on, what's the play, different things like that. But I think that's definitely going to be to our advantage, being able to, just like you're playing at home. I don't think home field advantage is going to be a big deal this year. Everyone's going to have an even playing field, and the best teams is just going to have to go out there and win.
All right. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it.